Good morning. We're bringing you sports now on the AM show. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. President John Dramani Mahama has revealed that the decision to build the Bukuom Boxing Arena was an idea that was meant to create what he calls the Bukuom Academy. According to him, the previous government did not continue the dream of realizing the Bukuom Academy, and he is ready to ensure that that Bukuom Academy is brought back to life to ensure that the development of the sport in the country is prioritized.
Unfortunately, over the years, things have gone down, and that's what we try to revive by setting up the Bukuom Boxing Arena. It's actually an academy because it's got hostels, it's got classrooms and all that. And the intention was that we'll scout and look for young talents all across the country and bring them to live and train there and go to school at the same time, you know. And so we're going to have teachers teach them so that they don't miss on their lessons and all that. Unfortunately, after I left office, that dream, you know, was put on hold. But we have the opportunity to take it up again. My one regret is I didn't build it bigger than it is now. I realized that. I thought that 4,000 was enough to come and see a boxing match, but it looks like we need a much bigger arena to contain the new interest that is coming up.
This conversation took place when Anthony Joshua, former heavyweight world champion, paid him a courtesy call in his house on Monday. And Anthony Joshua too has been speaking about what it means to visit Ghana and how he can contribute to the development of boxing in the country.
Amazing culture, hospitality, the airport, the organization, and I can't wait to go back and tell everyone across the world how beautiful this place is. And sports is obviously a way that it got me in a room like this. So I understand the importance of, you know, talking with my fists, but also how influential sports can be and the type of rooms you can get in. So I've been calling friends, speaking about ways that we can bring investment into Ghana, we can bring investment into Africa, because I understand some of your policies and what you're trying to do. And from a sportsman, I understand sports is short-lived, and then we cross over into business. So I'm also branching out into that sector, and I understand that there's certain things that we can bring from sports and our connections across the world, and how we can connect Africa to the rest of the world through sports. So Sharaf, amazing man, thank you for bringing me here. It's much appreciated, and long may Legacy Rise continue.
Yeah, thank you.
British boxing promoter Emu Chan, he is part of the team Legacy Rise Sports Promotions, and they put together the boxing bout, Battle of the Beasts at the Bukuom Boxing Arena last weekend. And he says that he's hoping to be able to organize another big boxing bout in the country, either in November or December.
Oh, the experience is, honestly, I'm lost for words. The people here are so amazing, honestly. And this only happened when me and Sharaf met in London only a year ago. When we met, we spoke about boxing, we spoke about Ghana. He asked me, have I been to Ghana? I said, no. He said, one day we're going to invite you. And obviously now I came here to host a boxing event. They took good care of me, put a great show on. And honestly, I would like to say my special thank you, I would just like to say, to those who sponsored. Because without the sponsors, the event could not happen. So I want to say a big thank you to all our sponsors for supporting us and believing in us, so we could put an event on like this. So big thank you there. And also, I met Mr. Azuma Nelson, the great champion, the legend in sport of boxing, you know, in Ghana.
Yeah.
He was amazing. He gives a big hug and a smile. Yeah. And that guy, what a legend he was. Yeah. And then not only him, met Mr. John Mahama, the president
of Ghana.
What a great guy he is. We had a sit down, we had a chit chat, and the vision he has for Ghana is amazing. Honestly, like, it really impressed me when I met him. So I'm really fond of him. I think he will do many great things in Ghana.
Now, we're looking at expanding boxing. I mean, you are in a market, you found yourself in a platform and in a market where it's advanced and in many ways in terms of putting it together. After this kind of story, what are the areas you'd want to get very much involved in? And what is the future looking like for American promotions and Legacy Rise Sports?
So I think the future holds many more events. We had a really good meeting today with the team. Sharaf and everybody are looking very excited to do more events like this. Like I said, as long as the sponsors keep coming, so we can put on these amazing shows for the Ghanaians. I mean, we are giving opportunities to the Ghana fighters to get involved in boxing. We should start opening more academies. Also, we had a really good meeting today with Kofi Adam. The minister, sports minister. He has amazing vision what he wants to do with sport in Ghana. Not only boxing, but other sports. But for when it comes to boxing, he understands the talent that Ghana has.
That's Emu Chan speaking to my colleague Nathaniel Atto. Now we go back to 11 years ago, or nearly 11 years ago, when Ghana participated in the FIFA World Cup in Brazil, where a massive scandal broke out after players decided to boycott training sessions, and also there was mutiny in camp. Well, following Ghana's exit from the group stages of the FIFA tournament, then President, who is also the President again now, John Dramani Mahama, set up a commission of inquiry to investigate the matters that transpired. The man who chaired that committee is Justice Senor Jama, who has now been promoted to the Supreme Court. He appeared before the vetting committee yesterday, and he's been speaking about the recommendations they made to the government. According to him, many of those recommendations have not been implemented.
Mr. Chairman, some were, but not all. We recommended a lot of recommendations, but not all were taken. But I can give some that we did, and we said, one, players should not be paid cash. We all saw what happened in Brazil when we had to fly money to Brazil for players, and we saw some people holding theirs. It was one bad thing for Ghana. Then number two, we also recommended that the state should not sponsor supporters to go to countries, to fly them to countries where we are playing. Instead,
that one is still happening.
Well, I have done my job. Because we were thinking that instead of flying people from Ghana and booking hotels and feeding them, why don't we buy tickets for Ghanaians who are in that country? Then again, we also recommended that every time the Black Star plays, at least 3 local players should be in the team for continuity, 3 local players. And you all saw the House of Oak goalkeeper, the local player who did very well in the post, conceding those goals. These are some of the recommendations we made. And then that we also recommended that the state, the parliament should know all matches to be played in the year ahead of time. I think sometimes the organizers wait when it's a week or 2 days to the match, then they bring their budget and you are forced. The only event in the world you cannot change is FIFA events. If FIFA fixes a match, you can never change it. You are forced to find money. So we recommended that matches should be, the state should know far ahead of time so that they can prepare towards those matches, not to wait till 2 days and then they bring you a budget. You have to, by all means, find money and send the players. These are some of the recommendations we made.
We talked the Women's African Cup of Nations. That will be starting in the first week of next month, which is July. And head coach of the Black Queens, Kim Lass, he has named a provisional squad for the tournament. And these are the players who have been called up. Goalkeepers, we have Cynthia Findip Conlan, Efia Emenyakun, and Kerry McCarthy. For the defenders, we have Anastasia Echia, Portia Boachi, Nina Noshi, Josephine Bonsu Comfort Yeboah, Susan Amadia, Ernestina Bambila, and Louisa Eniwa. For the midfielders, it's Great Asantua, Jacqueline Owusu, Jennifer Kujo, Evelyn Bedu, Nancy Amo, Chantel Hoka, and then Stella Nyamiche. For the fours, we have Princess Mafo, Sharifa to Sumaila, Alice Kusi, Abigail Kofi Kim, Princella Adubia, and Doris Buedua. And Doris Buedua, she was adjudged the Women's Footballer of the Year in the recent Ghana Football Awards held on Saturday. These are the provisional squad or provisional players called up by the head coach of the Black Queens ahead of the Women's African Cup of Nations that will be taking place in Morocco. And also, following the final of the FA Cup that took place at the University of Ghana Stadium, the head coach of Golden Kick, he's been sanctioned by the Ghana Football Association for comments he made after the game, saying that it was the referee who decided the outcome of that match. Now, let's take a look at what the Ghana Football Association prosecutor said in their statement. He said that Golden Kick head coach Neil Parker Hansen has been charged with a breach of the Division 1 league regulation following his post-match conduct after the MTN FA Cup final between Golden Kick FC and Asante Kotoko. It is alleged that his post-match commentary on the match officials constitutes misconduct that brings the game into disrepute. He has until Wednesday, June 18, 2025 to respond to the charge. And also, some players too have also been charged by the Ghana Football Association. So let's take a look at that as the Ghana Football Association continue to come heavy on people they believe are bringing the image of the game into disrepute. And they say that Golden Kick, that is the club itself, it has been charged with breaches of the GFA Disciplinary Code 2019 and this is one league regulations 2019 following their FA Cup final match against Asante Kotoko. It is alleged the supporters of Golden Kick threw objects onto the field of play during the match. Further, the club is alleged to have made social media commentary on the match officials, which brings the competition into disrepute. Golden Kick FC have until Wednesday, June 18, 2025 to respond to these charges. So their coach and the club all have until tomorrow to respond to the charges by the GFA prosecutor for bringing the image of the game into disrepute. And tomorrow, June 18, we'll bring you that exclusive interview between my colleague Daniel Cranton as he sit down with Baba Abdul Rahman. You haven't heard from Baba Rahman in a long while. For the last 3 years or so, he hasn't kicked a ball for the Black Stars, and we are fortunate to have gotten him to speak to us. And tomorrow, we'll bring that to you here.